So if you guys aren't aware, basically the Russian Blade Soul community manager actually had a live stream on Twitch, and he talked about for about 50 minutes on various issues about the game, some of the feedback they got from the Korean devs over at NCSoft. And I really want to talk to you guys about this because this type of communication is really important for the future of the game. And with NC West kind of being in the dark, for some reason, I don't know why, but the Russian server, they communicate way more with their player base than the NC West staff does. And so really we have to take a lot of what the Russian server says and apply it to us. So I want to talk to you guys about what they stated. Of course, we have to use a translation because they're talking Russian. But I really wanted to talk to you guys about this because they touched on some really important topics for the health of Blade Soul. So a couple people from the Alice Discord actually translated a lot of what the Russian stream said. And these are people that have been translating from the Korean website, from Russia, all over for Blade Soul content for North America and Europe for many years now. So they're definitely translators I do trust. And some of the things that got highlighted, which are kind of scary and what the Russian server were talking about. Number one is they said that they talked to the Korean devs, and this is from the Russian server, and they talked to the Korean devs over at NCSoft, and the Korean devs said that they do not see the lack of channel and alliance abuse as a problem, and nothing got fixed even though they requested that. So the Russian server actually talked about how they were going to fix the alliance bug with the Hunter's Refuge, and they were working on a fix for that. And they're actually talking about now, they mentioned this to the Korean devs, they forwarded it to them to get a fix from NCSoft, and the Korean devs just looked at the Russian server like, what do you mean? There's no issue with this. We don't find this an issue at all. And clearly this is an issue with the lack of the channels. This is one of the biggest things that everyone says that would make the event better, besides just deleting the event in general, is adding more channels so there's more mobs for people to freaking farm. Because right now there's clearly not enough mobs for people to farm. Everyone's fighting over it. You have multiple clans attacking each other, claiming spots. Like there's just not enough mobs for the player base. And with them not adding enough channels, this is what the issue is going to be. And the Korean devs are saying that that's not an issue, which I don't understand how they don't think that's not an issue. An alliance bug is when people are making alliances inside the Hunter's Refuge event, and then they're inviting people outside the portal, and it allows them to jump into it quicker. And this is obviously a bug and not intended. So honestly, this whole event is a mess. We all know this event is not good. And the only good news I have is that at least this event is ending on the 19th, because the bad news is that they are not going to be adding any type of fixes anytime soon. We only got a couple more weeks of this event, and they're not going to be adding more channels. They're not going to be fixing anything because for some reason the NCSoft devs over in Korea don't think there's any issues with it. Another thing they talked about is they are actually fixing some of the issues with fishing. So what's going on right now, which is actually ridiculous, is when you auto fish, there are people who are actually getting this bug where it like stutters you and it stops you from actually auto fishing midway. So you think you might be auto fishing all night, or you're at work and you're like, ooh, I'm gonna get all these sweet materials. And then you come home and your character's just staring at the ocean doing nothing because there's some stupid bug in the game. And somehow this happened, but apparently they're fixing that bug. It's only affecting some people, not everyone. So some people would be like, what are you talking about? But it does exist. People are getting affected by it. It's been proven. So basically Russia is saying they're getting that fixed very soon. Maybe we'll get it by the 19th for our update. I don't know yet, but hopefully they implement it soon, because it's really making it hard to autofish if you can't even autofish without getting interrupted. And it's only affecting some people, so it's kind of like the friendless bug, if you guys aren't familiar with that, where basically some people is friendless. It actually appears where they have 0 friends on it, and it only affected some people, and it's the same type of thing with this fishing bug, but apparently they're fixing that, so great news. Another thing talked about is the Iron Arc raid will get teased this week, and this is for Russia, of course, not us. But Iron Arc is the brand new raid. This is the hardest endgame raid. It's past ET, and this will be coming out very soon for us too. Probably summertime, I would assume. A lot of the really big whale clans are having difficulty clearing it, so I'm assuming for North America and Europe, we're going to be getting some type of nerf to it, I would hope, because our gear is not even on level with them. So hopefully that's going to be coming soon to us, and we can experience some new endgame content. I think a lot of people are getting really tired of ET. I personally, probably my least favorite raid has been ET. Honestly, the Nightfall Sanctuary wasn't very fun either. Mostly just because of the FPS, to be honest. That's the biggest issue. Like the Draft Titan boss in ET, the FPS is just abysmal. So that's probably why I have bad memories of it. But either way, I'm excited for a brand new raid. The Iron Arc one looks actually pretty cool. Will be very hard. New endgame accessories, items, all that. So that'll be coming very soon to Russia, and then us probably summertime. Last but not least is the worst news probably to talk about, which is the Korean devs talked about how they are going to be adding more Hunter Refuge type events in the future. The Korean devs mentioned that they want to motivate lower geared players to farm their gear up by making these PvP type events where you're basically getting smacked in the face by these whales in one ability. Korean devs are thinking somehow this is going to motivate players to gear up, which really, in my case, I think it's just going to make people quit the game because they're not going to want to deal with the crap. I mean, you might have a small case of people who will like get really frustrated and say, F this, I'm going to spend $100 right now and buy my freaking Hanmoon whatever and just upgrade their equipment. But that's a very small margin. I think the majority of people would just be like, this is not even fun. I'm just getting killed every second. I'm just going to quit and play something else. That's not going to stress me out. And I think that's really going to be the case. And with them kind of having this thought in their head of trying to make the game like this, it really makes me think they don't care about the long-term health of Blade and Soul, because you're really just forcing people to either gear up and spend money or just quit the game. You can't really do one or the other. If you're going to keep forcing these PvP events that give really great rewards and are really beneficial to the people that can actually participate in them, I feel like you're kind of just saying either gear up or get out. Spend money or get out. And that's not healthy for the state of the game. And my biggest thing is that NC West won't have any control over this. Like, we already know NC West doesn't have much control. So the Korean devs are going to keep putting out these PvP focused events for their whales, and the NC West team is just going to have to automatically transfer over to our region. Honestly, like the days of getting, 20 Sacred Oils, ult-friendly type events, those days are kind of seeming to be gone. Like, we might get a couple more before Korea starts doing this, but I feel like for the future, like end of 2020 into 2021, if Blanso's still around, I feel like we're just going to get a lot more of these Hunter Refuge type events. This is what they're saying they want to add. And this is really scary because we all know how negative the feedback from the community was. How many people already quit? I don't even want to know from Hunter's Refuge and this crap. That's really it, guys. I mean, that's kind of the worst part about Blade and Soul is that whatever the Korean devs want to add to the game, we can't really do much about it. Like, if they want to add just nothing but PvP events, we're just going to get those over and over and over. It's not like we can get much change because the NC West team, as I said, they don't have control. They can't just say, nah, we don't want that event, or nah, we're going to make a different event. We're going to design a different event for our community. That's not going to happen. They're not going to allow them to do that. They've already said before that NC West has said that they want to design their own event, but they can't do it. And so, it's just like, it's really sad that we have to deal with what the Koreans want, because obviously we don't want what they want. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching the video. If you enjoyed it, sub to the channel, like the video, watch more content. I got more videos coming out very soon. Appreciate you guys a lot. Wish there was better news, but we'll just keep waiting for Unreal Engine 4, right? Appreciate you guys, and I'm out.